Every person wants to be a leader, to influence others for the better. But we all seem to have resources, a sad schooling, a school bag that teaches us, informs us, or misinforms us, and we shape opinions before we even hear what's going on. And it's true when it comes to the question of what's going on with Russia today. Is it God's judgment? Is it God's just way of dealing with the West, or what is happening? Do we need to know and have explanation? Do we or can we know? What about geopolitics and sovereignty of God? Should we adopt a very fatalistic approach and say it's all inevitable? Nobody can alter the course of this. Are we prepared? How should we fireproof ourselves? At the end of the day, the questions we concern ourselves with is, how about me? How's this affecting me? My lifestyle, all I worked for. And we all face that. My life, I had a heart attack, and that changed everything. But I can tell you that even though some things were taken away for good, I achieved things that were impossible to me since then. I've seen God turn up and do things that, humanly speaking, were impossible. And I've learned to trust God at a higher degree. He provided incredibly well without me even knowing that I need that resource base. So should we fireproof ourselves, and if so, how? What is worth the effort? Apostles' teaching is the answer. Other books are relatively true, but I believe we need to come back to the basics. And in Matthew 7:24-27, we are reminded about what is worth the effort, what should be the anchor point. And there Jesus tells us that there are two types of people, one that builds on the rock and one that builds on the sand. When the waters come, one's work is destroyed. You need to have a foundation, an anchor. And the anchor should never be in what happens here and now. The anchor should be in the very fact that God, Elohim, provided us with a beginning. Because He is the author and the sustainer of everything that we know. The truth is, you and I have been sustained. And we need to stand on that rock, on what was said, what the apostles knew that was true. For faith is not a tradition, not something you practice periodically, once a year. It's not a free time hobby. It is the first point of call. It is the point of reference, the anchor. And that in real life, looks like trust in Yahweh, Adonai, the sovereign, mighty Master. Now, I know that you have questions like I do, and many people died, and we cry with those who cry, and we mourn with those who mourn. And we don't easily proclaim judgment on no one. But in the light of what we know about God, that He is sovereign, mighty Master, the question is, how can I and how can you honor God with our gifts, with the whole of life, with our positioning right now? How can we make the church in Australia more aware, more loving? How can we help? What are we to practice that will change the course for the better, for the apostolic ways? If we don't know the simplicity of the apostolic ways, we need to fast from all that we are doing and hear God, hear the apostles, to fast, cut everything, even our religiosity out. Fast. For really, we are not called to build new institutions, to form new traditions, to seek to conquer, to build a big empire, or to retreat and to resort to personality-altering substances that might hopefully dilute and dissipate our anxiety, or give us a boost of unnatural confidence. But knowing who God is, here and now, according to Hebrews 12:1, we are to strip off weights that slows us down. If you're not on fire for God, if other things have become more important and a priority, you need to consider for yourself, I need to consider how I can strip off, get rid of all that slows us down from experiencing the Holy Spirit. Philippians 3:14, the apostle says, I run straight towards the goal in order to win the prize. Let's not forget the prize. Let's not redefine the prize. Life here, no matter how successful and how seemingly fulfilling it is, will end. And all our efforts will end. But there is a prize. And you are called in these times to not be scared or to fireproof or to be this prepper who spends the rest of life doing everything but chasing the prize. Do you know what the prize is?